Hi friends, it's Marika Lake here and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I am going to be doing a curriculum haul. I'm going to show you all of the things that we are using to teach homeschool in 2025 here in the Lake House Homeschool. Now, I have been homeschooling my children for 7 years now. We're going into our 7th year, and I have 5 children, 4 of whom I am homeschooling. My oldest son is in year 11 this year, so the curriculum that I'm going to be showing you this video does not include him. It is going to be for my daughter who's in grade 7, and then my 2 boys who are in grade 5 and grade 3. Because the grade 7, 5 and 3, they're the kids that I homeschool together. We learn family style, so the curriculum that I'm going to be showing you today is for those 3 kiddos. If you are interested to see what we're doing to teach year 11 here in the Lake House Homeschool, stay tuned and I will do a separate video on that to show you all the things that my son will be doing for grade 11. Now, over the years, we have definitely become more of a minimalist family, and in particular, our homeschool has become much more minimalistic. So I would kind of say that this homeschool haul is very minimalistic. We don't have a million different things that we're just trying to do this year, just a couple of things that we are aiming to do. So I hope that you find this helpful just to have a look at what we're going to be using in our homeschool this year. I'm also excited to tell you that a part of today's video, I have got a free giveaway for you. This year, I am partnering with easyteaching.net and I am using their website for the first time here in the Lake House Homeschool. And if you stay tuned towards the end of the video, I am going to show you this great website and how I am going to be using it in our homeschool curriculum. And the people from easyteaching.net have actually given me 4 free subscriptions that I can give away to my viewers. So if you would like to enter into that competition to win one of those free subscriptions to easyteaching.net, make sure you stay. I think it's towards the end of this video. I'm going to show you the website and talk to you about how you can enter to win one of those free subscriptions. Okay, let's turn this camera around and have a look at what we're going to be using to teach homeschool in the Lake House Homeschool for 2025. Okay, so let's start with what we are using for language and literacy. For language and literacy, we are using the Good and the Beautiful curriculum, and each of my children are working on their own individual level. I've just grabbed one level to show you today. This is the level 3 unit, and I love the Good and the Beautiful because they actually offer downloads of their curriculum for free. So I was able to download each of my children's language and literacy program for free, and then I just print it at home. I have an Epson EcoTank printer, which is great. It prints color and it also does double-sided, and then I have just bound the books at home. So I will leave a link in the description box down below for you if you wanted to go and check out this language and literacy program for yourself. I haven't done any flip-throughs of these on my channel because they are free to download. So if you wanted to have a look inside yourself, you can just download whatever level that you wanted to and you could have a look at it. But I love this program because it's all inclusive. In this program, it's got phonics, writing, reading, grammar and punctuation, spelling, literature, and they also cover geography and art appreciation as well. So that's what we're using for language and literacy. It's great. This is the course book it belongs to one of my sons. This is the course book that he will be working through. This is just one unit. I believe there's 4 units in this level, so I have printed all of those off. And then it just comes with a spelling book as well, a spelling practice book that he will do activities in. And they also include reading books as well. I think this unit has about 4 of these or 5 of these readers that are included completely for free. that I have printed off, and we work through this together. There's sections for me to read and him to read as well. But it's absolutely amazing because this was all free. All I'm really paying out is to print it myself and bind it, but I do all of that at home. But I do really recommend the Good and the Beautiful. Love their curriculum. We used it last year and we will be going ahead and using it this year as well. So each of my children have their own level that they're working on for their language arts program. For maths, we use mathsonline.com.au, and I have been using this maths program for all of my children right from the beginning of our homeschool journey, and we will be using it again this year. I absolutely love this program, and if you haven't heard of it before, go on over to their website. They do actually offer a free trial, which I love. I love it when companies do that. So you can access the free trial, which will give you full access to the whole program, and then you can decide if this math program is going to work for you or not. But basically it is video tutorials, and it'll give a short video tutorial on the the maths topic that you are talking about, and then it has interactive questions for the children to answer, and it marks it and grades it as you go along. There's also worksheets that you can print out, and it also has the answers as well if you need those. So it's, can have a combination of online and printing out as well. And another great feature is that it creates a report for you. And so at the end of the year, or throughout the year, I'm always checking on how my kids are going and what grades they're achieving, if we need to go back and go over anything, if they perhaps got a low mark. And at the end of the year, you can print out a page of results which goes through all of the subject areas that they worked on and each individual lesson, and it'll give them a grade about assessing how they went. And so I love that. It's so easy to do that. It's great for reporting at the end of the year. Absolutely love this program. So this is what all of my children will be using for maths. So what we are doing for science and also the technology learning area this year, we'll do science first. We are going to also be using the Good and the Beautiful science programs this year as well. And what I usually do is I only do science, don't do science every term. Same with history. I do science, this year I'm doing science in term 1 and term 3, and I will be doing history in term 2 and 4. So I have one science unit that I've picked out, which I can show you, and then I will also pick one other science unit from the Good and the Beautiful. But I'm actually going to wait until later on in the year to decide what it is I'd like to do. I have a kind of an inkling of what I'd like to do, but I don't know, because I have to pay for it and print it out, I just thought I would wait until into the year to decide what we wanted to do. But I have decided what the first science unit that we will be using, and we are using the Kingdoms and Classification unit study from the Good and the Beautiful. I have used their science programs before and have loved them. I think I have some flip throughs on my channel, so I can pop a link in the description box down below for you and throw a card up the top if you wanted to have a look at the other ones we've used. I do know their marine biology unit study on their website is actually free for you to download and use, so you can go and check that one out for free and see if you like it. We've done it and we loved it. So we are doing the Kingdoms and Classifications unit study from the Good and Beautiful for science, and it comes with a teacher's guide that I read aloud to the children, and it has anything that we need in there to use to teach the unit. And then each of the children then have their own student journal that has activities for each lesson, which is age age appropriate. So this activity book here is for grades 3 to 6, and then I have another book that is for grades 7 to 8, which my daughter will use. So they each have their own student journal, and then this is the teacher's guide. So that's the science that we're using this year, and then I have one other science that I will pick, but I don't have it to show you today. I'm sorry. But I will do a flip through of this curriculum and pop it up on my channel. So stay tuned if you wanted to have a look inside this beautiful unit study from The Good and the Beautiful. So that's what we are doing for science. And then for the technology areas, I just grabbed a few of these science kits. I actually picked this one up from Temu. So I grabbed one of these they call them STEM kits. You've probably heard that word before. I've used these STEM kits last year. I used one which was for our space unit study, and that worked really well. And so I kind of bought that to try it out, and we enjoyed that. So I've bought some more this year, and each of my children, the 3 kids, I've just bought one so far, and we'll give them a go. So this is a slide projector. And it comes with all the pieces that you need to create the projector, and obviously then these are the instructions. What these kits actually remind me of is the STEM kits that you get sent to you in the mail I can't remember the company, but I'll flash the name across the screen. I've used that company before, and that the kits that come in the boxes are often look exactly like this. So let's give these a go because they're so much cheaper. As I said, I got these off of Temu. I can link the ones that I have found in the description box down below if you wanted to try them for yourself. They will require an adult to help, I'm sure, punching out all these little pieces maybe, but we're going to give them a go. This is going to cover our STEM learning area. This is the technologies learning area. At the moment, I just purchased one kit. They're all different for each kid, so I've got 3. And then if they really work out and the kids love them, then I might go and buy another one. So we would probably do a couple of these in a school year. So that's what we are doing for technologies. That was science and technology. Now I'm going to show you what we are doing for history. I've got a few different things for history. First of all, we are going to be doing the story of the world. We are up to volume 2, and this is covering the Middle Ages. We love the story of the world. We did volume 1 last year, and now we're on to volume 2 this year, and I use this book as a read aloud. I do believe you can access these on Spotify if you have them, and you could listen to them as an audiobook. But I have the copy, so I use this as a read aloud, and I read this to my 3 children. And then we have history notebooks. We started these last year, and what we do basically is I read aloud from the history book. We may watch some YouTube videos that goes along with what we're talking about, and then we'll just do a art notebooking page in the book. And sometimes I just get the children to basically write down what it is that they remembered from what we read, and they might draw some pictures. As you can see here, this is what my daughter has done. She's written about ancient Egypt, and then we created this on Canva. That's another thing I kind of do for technologies as well, is we use Canva, and my children will design projects in there and birthday invitations and things like that. So we do use Canva to add to our technologies learning area. So that's another good tip. Sometimes I find maps that I can print off that they use, and just different kind of things for the different notebooking pages. So this is all just history, and eventually at the end they'll kind of have a timeline of world history in this book. So that is their notebook to go along with our world history. And then I do add in Australian history as well. And I bought this book back this year. I have used this book in previous years. This is called Our Sunburnt Country. And this is a like a Charlotte Mason themed kind of book. What is it called? It's called A Living Book. So it's Australian history, but it's told as a story, is from the perspective of the people actually being there. So it's not a textbook, it's more like a storybook. And so we are going to I'm going to read aloud from this book to my children. We've done a lot of First Australians and then the First Fleet. I think we'll move on to, so I won't read that in this section of the book. I'll kind of read on to settlement and gold rush and things like that. So we'll be using this book. Now, I know this book, I think, may be out of print at the moment. And so if I can find where it is that you can purchase it, I will link it in the description box down below for you. But you can always buy these books. Look out for them secondhand. So check out your homeschooling Facebook pages and things like that if you wanted to get your hands on a copy of this book. I know I purchased mine probably 6 or 7 years ago now, and shortly after that the place I bought them from no longer had them. But if I can find it, I will link it in the description box down below for you. So that is what we are doing for Australian history, and then this one is for world history. Okay, and now I'm going to show you what we are going to be using for health and, I think it's called Health and Physical Education. I have this series of books, which I think I have shown you before. The series of books is actually called God's Design for Sex, and I think there's 4 or 5 books in the series. I've just grabbed one to show you, but basically they have them for different ages. So it starts off right at the beginning and works its way up to this, I think this one or maybe another one. So you can see here, this one is for ages 11 to 14. But I have been reading these books with my children from the very beginning. So when they were young, we started at book 1 and we worked through the books, basically kind of do a book each year. And so this book here, it's talking about, it goes through all of the, goes through your body, and it goes through your hormones and going through puberty and all those kind of things. So each of my book has each of my children kind of have an age appropriate book in this series that we use for our health education. And then of course my children are always involved in cooking and baking in the home. I don't have a set curriculum for teaching health studies. We do these books, and then obviously they're involved in learning about healthy eating and good foods, and we informally talk about the healthy food pyramid, what foods are good to eat all the time, what foods are good to eat some of the time, and things like that. And then my children are involved in extracurricular activities, so they each have a sport that they do. One son does soccer, one does basketball, my daughter does dancing and gymnastics, we do surf lessons, we do swimming lessons, we ride our bike, we go to the park, we go rock climbing. All those kind of things fit into that category of sport and physical education. And then this is what we're going to be using for our Bible studies for the year. I thought I would just show you. This year, I'm just reading my children's Bible with them. We have been using the Adventure Bible, which is, I use an NIV version, and this is great for kids. As my children learn to read, they each get one of these Bibles, and it just has little devotion sections and did you know sections throughout the Bible, and so I will just be reading from the Word and going through those little things with them. I'm not going to use a set curriculum this year. I'm going to just give this a go. Of course, when we do our Bible times, we start with worship, then we will read from the Bible, and we will pray together, and we often practice prophesying over each other and praying for our city and things like that. So that's what we will be doing for Bible study. And then I also have these books. I'm not sure if I'm going to read these aloud to the kids or just give them to my daughter to read this year. I haven't decided yet, but I love this series of books. It's called God's Generals for Kids, and I have Catherine Kuhlman, and I also have the book on John G. Lake. And so this is just these are storybooks about, so this one's about the life of John G. Lake and all the amazing things he did and his journey with the Lord, and yeah, just the amazing things that he got up to. So it's just learning about, you know, famous revivalists of the past. I love these books. They also have, I think, a series on YouTube as well, which is called Just God's Generals, and they talk about their life. I think it's Robert Learden who does the YouTube videos, and they have, you know, photographs, and any footage that they have from that time as well is also on there. So we will probably watch those on YouTube as well. But I really do recommend these books. I love the God's General series. This is the for kids. There is a God's General book that I have, which is what I originally read. It's a thick book with heaps of stories in here, lots of different revivalists, and then they put out a series for children. So that is what we're going to be doing for Bible study this year. So for geography, as I said, we were using the language and literacy program from The Good and the Beautiful, which also has geography and art included in this curriculum. Now, what I do add in some more art for my children. We just add in, like when we're doing history, we're doing art notebooking pages, and we might add in, you know, some extra fun art along the way. But other than that, our art is actually covered in The Good and the Beautiful, and it also has geography as well. The only other geography that I actually add in is Australian geography. And so what I do is, I think I have showed you this document before. This is a document from the Teachers Pay Teachers website, and it's from a lady. Her shop is called Whispering Waters. I will pop this document, the link to all of this in the description box down below. So if I ever talk about anything, you can find more information in the description box of this video. But she has these documents over on her Teachers Pay Teachers page, where she has taken the Australian curriculum and she's put it down into a much more user-friendly language for each of the grades, I think up to grade 8, I think. And I purchased these at the beginning of my homeschooling journey, and I love them. I use them every year. I don't go to the Australian curriculum. I just use this document. So when it comes to doing Australian geography, I don't have a curriculum that I've purchased. I kind of put it together on my own. So what I do for each of my children, I head on over to this this document. So this one I've grabbed for grade 5, and I look at the things that they need to cover. So it goes through all of the learning areas, and I just skip to this one. I'm talking about geography, so she's labeled it as social studies. I skip to the geography section, and I look here about what are the things that my child need to learn in geography for this year. So here, this is grade 5, and they read about Australian history with a focus on the 1800s, bushfires and floods, elections, looking at the 3 levels of the Australian government, looking at lawmaking, talking about and studying some famous Australians, learning about timelines, and in particular, obviously, Australian timelines of history and different points of view of the same events. So this is not just geography, this is history as well, like the 1800s, but this here is considered geography, elections, 3 levels of Australian government, and lawmaking. That kind of fits into more of the geography learning area. And then what I do is I will set about teaching them my own way. So what I usually do is hit up YouTube to find some videos. I know that Behind the News has some great videos, and there's another channel, I forget the name of it, but often they use it in schools. That is another great channel, and we can watch some videos about, for example, the 3 levels of government in Australia, learning all about how our government works, taking a tour of, Canberra and all those kind of things, learn how laws are made. If I'm not happy with the YouTube videos, I could go to my local library and find some information that way, or even hit up the internet. And then what I tend to do after that, what I like to do is I like to read with my children, watch with my children, and then I might do a couple of activities with them or worksheets with them. And the reason I do worksheets is not because it's busy work to keep them busy, it's so I can actually have something tangible to use to test their knowledge. Hey, did they actually, remember anything about what we learnt, and can they put it on paper? And it's a great way to test, their knowledge, to see if they picked it up, and if they didn't, then we can go back and try again, or I can help them a little bit more. And also, something on paper is a great way to document our learning and to show our moderator at the end of the year as well. So there's this great new website, well, new to me anyway, I haven't used it before, but it's called easyteaching.net. And on here, it is a subscription-based program. There are some things that you can access for free, but there are, you can just see here, it's for just $25.90, you can have access to their unlimited resources on easyteaching.net. And then I just come along, there's plenty of learning areas that you can see here, and I just go to the history and geography tab. I can also search for grades as well, and the type of resource that I want to use. And then there are all sorts of activities that I can access and I can print off and my children can complete. So you can see here we've got, Journey of the First Fleet Comprehension, close activity. We're looking at convicts. There's all sorts of things. You can see all of the list of the pages here. That was on page 3. I can go back to page 1. Heaps of different learning activities. This was in the history and geography learning area. So then what I just do is I will come on to easyteaching.net and I will grab an activity, print it out and complete that with my children. And honestly, I probably will still do this family style. If one child's going to learn about how laws are made, well, we will all learn about how laws are made. And then when I come to choosing an activity sheet that I would like to use, I can just simply grab, a grade 3 one for one son, I can grab a grade 5 one, and my daughter, I can grab a high school one. So they can just complete a different sheet. We're all kind of learning the same thing, but they'll have a different sheet that is targeted for their age group. So that is what we are going to be using. We're going to be using easyteaching.net for our geography sheets. And honestly, I'll probably use these to grab history sheets as well, as we are doing our story of the world and even the Australian history book. I will grab sheets off of here as well that I can just easily print out, and my children can complete after reading from history and then pop it into their notebooks that I have. So that is what we're going to be doing for geography, and I'll probably use it for history as well. As I said at the beginning of this video, easyteaching.net are kindly gifting me 4 free subscriptions to give away to my viewers. Now, all you have to do to be in the draw to win one of these free subscriptions is simply like this video and leave a comment down below, and then I will randomly select 4 lucky viewers to win one of these subscriptions. It is easy as that. I have really enjoyed looking and navigating easyteaching.net so far. This is an Australian site, so all of the resources are linked to the Australian curriculum. The website is really easy to navigate. We have this bar across the top here, which you can see has listed all of the subject areas that they cover. They've got English, maths, science, history and geography, and health. And you can come down here and you can easily select what grade that you're looking for. They have the early years, middle to primary and upper primary, and also the type of resources that are available, which you can see here. They've got worksheets, cut and paste sheets, booklets, games, displays, spin wheels, fun resources, organizers, and activities. And then you can simply scroll on through to find what you would like. They also have a search bar up here as well, so if you are looking in for something in particular, you can use the search bar to have a look. But you can see all of these amazing resources are here, and there are pages upon pages for you to access. This is absolutely amazing. So this again is easyteaching.net. Thank you, easyteaching.net, for reaching out and giving some free subscriptions away. We so appreciate you, and we appreciate Australian resources as well. I'm so excited that this is purely Australian resources. I'm always looking for Australian resources for our homeschool, and so easyteaching.net have that. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope that you found that helpful to have a look at the things that we are going to be using in our homeschool for 2025. Now, don't forget to like this video and make a comment so you can be in the running to win one of the free Forbes subscriptions from easyteaching.net, and I will announce the winners in the comment section down below as well. Thank you so much for watching my video today, and I will see you next time. Bye.